Hello everyone and welcome, this is Commander Curses and today I am looking at the Beluga Liner. It's the new ship introduced in the 2.2 patch and I'm flying one right now. I've got a bit of a long trip, so let's do a bit of a fly around while I'm waiting to get to my destination. So it's got 4 big wings, it's huge, it takes a large pad. It fits through the slot. There was talk of it needing to fold down the back wings to fit through the slot, but that did not eventuate. It can accept the new ship-based fighters in one of its bays. It has some Class 6 utility module slots and Class 5 and Class 4. I'll talk about that a bit more later. It's got a really cool solar panel looking thing. It's probably actually a heat sink. The ship does get quite warm. And then underneath you can see there's the cargo holes, I want to say hole, and that looks like the fighter slot right there. It's got some cool spinning fan things, and yeah, looks really neat. Let's go back a little bit. It's done a fly under. It's got a really big mirror top, looking up at the stars for the tourists to enjoy the view. And from behind, it's got some beefy looking engines. And what about inside the cockpit? So we've got the standard glass canopy, really huge. I mean, like, we can look down there, there's the co-pilot seat, and the dashboard looks very clean and shiny. There's a second co-pilot seat, so I'm sitting in the middle seat. It really gives you a sense of the scale of the ship, and it's got a pretty good viewport. There's no nasty canopy window supports. Yeah, so I'm gonna head to the outfitting screen and we'll have a look at what you can equip it with. Okay, what's the outfitting like on the Beluga? It has 5 Class 2 hard points. So there's 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom, aft mounted, and 1 under the nose. There's 6 utility mounts, and then the core internals. There's a Class 6 power plant, 7 thruster, 7 frameshift drive, 8 live support, a 6 power distributor, and 5 sensors. You can get up to 128 tons of fuel in the fuel tank. Then your optional internal, there is 4 Class 6. However, 2 of them are reserved only for cargo hull reinforcements or passenger cabins. You can't put anything like shields or fuel scoops or AMFUs or anything like that. Then there's 2 Class 5 slots, which are also reserved for cargo hull reinforcements and passenger cabins. These are things which I don't think exist in the game, although I haven't equipped out an Orca before, so they might already exist in Orca. Then you've got 1 Class 4, which is Omni slot. Then you've got 4 Class 3s, which are all anything. So the way I've got mine set out, I have turreted lasers for defense and a multi-cannon for kind of taking out the bad guys if you decide to fight and not run. Then I've got a chaff launcher, a point defense. Then I've got the maximum amount of shield boosters allowed for my current power setup, giving me a shield of 302 megajoules. The core internals, I've got just the lightweight alloys, but I've got everything A rated. I mean, obviously it's the test service, so I'm not really breaking the bank by A rating everything, but it would be quite expensive. I mean, my insurance is 786,000 credits, which would mean that's a tenth So 7.8 million, and that will make, if that's 5%, that would be about 150 million total purchase price of the ship. So yeah, it's quite expensive, but I've got my sensors, which I could slim back if I wanted to increase the power available for shield boosters. Got my 7A thrusters. It's pretty slow, about, as you see, 200 meters per second with the A thrusters. The frameshift drive giving me a 19 light year range in the current configuration, which is pretty small, but obviously if you need more with the A rated build, you can go for the engineering upgrades, the dirty drive tuning. And then life support, I've got D because it's the lightest, and if you're traveling anywhere, you're either within 7 minutes of a station or you're dead, so it doesn't really matter. And the A power distributor just to give the weapons a bit more oomph. I haven't been able to optimize it using one of the online tools, ED Shipyard or Coriolis.io, because they're not on there. It's because it's a beta ship. I guess they're waiting for the final specs to be able to add that. Anyway, what have I got? I've got an A-rated shield generator. In the cabins, I've got, I'm not really sure what the optimal solution is, but I've got first class passenger cabins. I've got 24 slots for that. I've got 16 business, 4 luxury, which you require for some certain missions, and I've got 16 economy, and they've actually changed the class of economy to economy. Yesterday it was a business class in the Beta 5 build. Then I've got a fuel scoop just for a bit further travel, a little bit of cargo for mission rewards, planetary vehicle hangar just for versatility, and a docking computer. And this is just so that you can discover the planets that you, or the systems that you go to. So with that loadout, it gives me about 200 light years of travel on the single tank, the 128 ton fuel tank. So as you can see, this is my limit, 193, and depending on the how close the stars are together, obviously you'll get more or less than that, but it's around about the 180 to 210 light year range, which is good enough for a lot of the missions that I'm picking up, at least in this system. And for different builds of the Beluga, it's not really a fighting ship, it's only got the 5 class 2 hard points. The only other real outfits I could think of would be a trading ship and an exploring ship. With your fully upgraded frameshift drive, you get about, sorry, not fully upgraded, with your fully mass optimized, you get about 30 light years of jump range in the Beluga, so that's getting up to respectable with no cargo. And with the trader, you get about 368 cargo slots, which is between the Python and Anaconda for cargo, and are far less than the Type 9. So it's not really the best trading ship because it does cost quite a lot, and you lose a bit for, well, you pay a lot for that. It's a very massive ship. Just want to point this out quickly. 3.2 thousand tons is the maximum mass for the engines, but it's actually 1.7 thousand tons all in all, which it's quite big compared with all the other ships. I mean, you've got 1,000 tons for the Type 9, which is I guess the next biggest ship. So it's yeah, it's a very big ship indeed. So how does it fly? Well, it's not too bad, although I did just try and film this and actually lost my ship on the toast rack while I was trying to leave. Oh geez. But that's one reason to have a big shield. No, it flies pretty well. It's only got a pretty slow top speed, but it's very, very serviceable for a big ship. The loadout, the 6776 loadouts, somewhere between a Type 9 and a Python in terms of. I really like the sound of the engine in terms of what equipment it can carry. As we said before, it's between Python and Anaconda for cargo. It doesn't have quite near the Type 9 in terms of cargo capability, and yes, it's quite expensive, but its primary function is a trading passenger ship, and in my next video I will be showing its capabilities as a passenger ship, and a little bit of a spoiler, it is the luxury model. You can get away with a far less and make a good profit with far less on the than this ship, but this is the top tier. It gives you the maximum amount of passengers for such a lovely looking ship. Okay, that's one reason. It is not a nimble ship. So the ship, the Beluga, is primarily a passenger transport ship. It'll be an okay trader, although quite expensive, and will be very good as an exploration ship if you slim it down to its core components. It's fun to fly, although quite large, and you may lose $7 million in a repair bill on the toast rack if you're not careful when you slide it through the slot. But other than that, it's a very, very nice ship, the Beluga. So thanks all of you for watching this ship review, and I will catch you all in the next one. This is Commander Cursor signing off. Thanks for watching again, and safe flying.